All right, team, welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. Today, I'm really excited to dive into some cutting-edge stuff. I've been poring over the latest research on digital trends, and honestly, it's fascinating. I've even leveraged some advanced AI, yeah, you heard that right, to break down the core insights. This way, we can get straight to the actionable strategy. So without further ado, let's jump in.
Welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. We've analyzed the latest data on SaaS growth strategies to help you sharpen your strategic thinking. Today, we're breaking down the exact playbook for taking a software company from just an idea to over 1,000 paying customers. Let's dive in.
But let's kick things off with a pretty sobering number, 90%. That's the percentage of startups that never even make it to $1 million in annual recurring revenue. That is an absolutely massive failure rate. So what's the deal? What separates the 10% that make it from the 90% that don't? It's not about having a better idea or more funding. It's about a totally different approach from day one.
The biggest reason for this failure is something we call the startup trap. You know the story. A founder gets this brilliant idea, they grab their co-founders, and they lock themselves away for like 12 to 18 months, just building in a bubble. They're confusing all that activity, all that coding, with actual progress toward building something people will pay for. And this quote from Adam Robinson just hits the nail on the head. Founders get obsessed with their solution, their slick features, their beautiful code, instead of obsessing over their customers' real, painful problems. This one mistake is what sends them straight down the path to becoming another statistic.
So how do you avoid that trap? Well, you use this, the discovery blueprint. Think of this as the antidote. It's a framework that forces you, and I mean forces you, to listen before you build, to validate the problem exists before you even think about coding up the solution.
And this process isn't some vague theory, it's super concrete and actionable. First, you commit to doing a minimum of 50 discovery calls. Your only mission is to find people who will pay you for something that doesn't even exist yet. The story of BarkBox is the perfect example here. The founder went to a dog park with nothing but a Photoshop mock-up of a website on his phone. He pitched dog owners, and when they said yes, he swiped their credit cards right then and there. He got 50 paying customers before a real website was ever built. That is validation.
But okay, how do you actually get these calls? Here's a proven LinkedIn script from Andy Muborn. He establishes credibility, says what he's building, and then just asks for feedback. But here's the kicker. He offers a $100 gift card for their time. You'd be surprised how well this little incentive still works to get your foot in the door with busy people.
Now, once you're on that call, remember, you're not selling, you're a detective. You need to ask these kinds of questions to understand their pain so deeply that you can't help but build the perfect solution. You're testing everything, the problem, the solution, the price, and any roadblocks, all at the same time.
All right, so you've validated the problem. You've even gotten some prepayments. Awesome. Now it's time to build. But you're not building the whole grand vision. Not yet. You're building just enough to deliver on your core promise and define the holy grail for any startup: product market fit.
Your first version should be a minimum viable product, or an MVP. And here's the secret that feels so counterintuitive. If you can do something manually, instead of automating it, you should. I mean, one founder famously just sent his customers spreadsheets via email for 5 entire months before he ever built a proper user interface. It sounds crazy, but it's absolutely genius. Why? Because doing things manually is your superpower as a startup. It keeps you incredibly close to your first customers. You can learn and iterate 10 times faster than your big competitors who are stuck trying to automate everything. It gets you to market months earlier and starts that crucial feedback loop.
All of this work, the calls, the manual processes, the MVP, it's all driving toward one single goal: product market fit. This is that magic moment when your product just clicks with the market. And let me be crystal clear. Until you achieve product market fit, literally nothing else matters.
So how do you know you have it? It's not a vibe, it's a set of clear signals. 1, you're getting at least 1 referral a week from happy customers. 2, if you told customers you were shutting down, they would be genuinely upset. And 3, you're seeing organic growth without doing any marketing. This checklist is a non-negotiable gateway. Here at TNT Digital Mindset, we believe you shouldn't even think about scaling until you can check all 3 of these boxes.
Okay, once you've confirmed you have product market fit, and only then, is it time to pour gasoline on the fire.
It's time to activate the engine that takes you from a handful of happy users to 1,000 or more. It's time to ignite the magic triangle.
The magic triangle is just the combination of 3 channels: content, outreach, and retargeting. Now, on their own, they're okay. Content is too slow, cold outreach has terrible conversion rates, and retargeting can't create new leads from scratch. But when you combine them, they create this powerful, compounding growth engine where each channel makes the other 2 exponentially better.
Pillar 1 is founder-led content, specifically on your personal LinkedIn profile. It grows 10 times faster than a company page because people connect with people, not logos. You need to post at least 3 times a week, focused on a few core themes that you can talk about forever. This lets you build a real human connection with an audience at scale.
Pillar 2 is a modern, 2-pronged approach to outreach. Sure, you're doing targeted cold outreach to your ideal customers, but at the same time you're doing warm outreach. You're using tools to see which companies are visiting your site, finding the right people there, and then reaching out. It's a multi-channel strategy that lets you build rapport first, not just spam people.
And that brings us to Pillar 3, retargeting. This is the glue that holds the whole system together. You use simple ad pixels on your website so you can stay top of mind with every single person who engages with your content or gets your outreach. It's the multiplier that makes sure no lead ever goes cold.
So we've gone through the whole playbook, from validating an idea to building a scalable growth engine. But there's one core philosophy that underpins all of it. It's the one thing you can do that your massive corporate competitors simply can't.
And here's the bottom line. As a founder, your ability to be brutally honest, transparent, and just real is your unfair advantage. Big companies are forced to speak in polished corporate jargon. You can share the wins, the failures, and the journey in a way that cuts through the noise and builds genuine trust.
So as you move forward, I want you to constantly ask yourself this one question. Are you truly focused on solving a real, painful problem for a specific group of people, or are you just building a product that you've fallen in love with? The answer will determine which side of that 90% statistic you land on. If you want to master the digital economy, make sure to subscribe to TNT Digital Mindset. Thanks for listening.